This is an important day in the life of the University of Portsmouth, a day for us to celebrate the success of our graduates. It's my pleasure as Vice-Chancellor of the University to welcome you to this ceremony and to formally declare this congregation of the University open. Please be seated.
Vice-Chancellor, my University Executive Board colleagues, heads of school, and members of the University of Portsmouth community, colleagues, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, family, and friends. I'm delighted to be here with you today on this important occasion in our graduates' lives and careers. To each of you, I offer my congratulations. What you have achieved in completing a degree qualification is a significant educational accomplishment. Regardless of your chosen field of study, graduation signifies the culmination of several years of hard work on your part. While today is a celebration of your efforts, I might also add that it's a time for us to thank our academic and professional staff who have been absolutely committed to helping you to achieve your learning goals. Finally, I thank the family and friends, employers, colleagues, and mentors who have also played an important role in the success of each graduate. You can all be justly proud of your efforts. At this juncture, I think it's appropriate that you, our graduates, should stand up and with a warm round of applause, join me in thanking your friends and family who are here today. So please stand up and let's applaud. Thank you. While this is a day of celebration, it's also an occasion that represents a point of departure from studying at the University of Portsmouth to a new stage where you have the opportunity to make your mark in the community, whether that is at a local, regional, or indeed a global level. The university has endeavored to instill in you a body of knowledge and a set of qualities that will prepare you for your future life. However, the true value of your University of Portsmouth education lies in how you transfer this knowledge for the greater good of your communities. On that note, allow me to reflect on the importance of this body of knowledge and the value of a university education to connect more directly and boldly with the large questions of our time. We live in times of great economic, political, and cultural change. And the challenge today is to take the best of our insights, experiences, and knowledge and turn them into actions in order to improve people's lives and prospects. In response to these prevailing pressures of our times, let me remind you the purpose of higher education. I think it's about self-fulfillment, personal development, and the pursuit of knowledge as an end in itself, the provision of skills of critical analysis and independent thought to support full participation in civil society, the preparation of leaders for diverse global environments, and support for a highly productive and professional labor force. More importantly, these sentiments must be contextualized against the backdrop of globalization and the internationalization of education. This has inevitably meant the significant movement of students, academics, and programs across national and cultural boundaries, rendering the world a mere global village. At 24 years of age, this university, the University of Portsmouth, is one of the world's top 100 universities under 50 years of age, according to the Times Higher Education rankings this year. In addition, we're amongst the top 2% of universities worldwide, again according to the Times Higher Education rankings. And your university is on the move, with the Guardian League table recently placing us amongst the top third of UK universities. These are remarkable achievements that we are very proud of, and we hope that you will be too. We at the university remain aspirational, energetic, and committed to change and success, ensuring an enduring partnership with each of you. There's little doubt that the knowledge, skills, and values that you have developed during your University of Portsmouth studies will help you become leaders within your community into the future. We want you to be successful because your successes and achievements will reflect well upon your university, and of course, the successes of the university will continue to reflect well on you. I urge you to use your new credentials from the university to good effect. We live, as I've just said, in particularly changing times, or what we could call unsettling times, where the world is facing problems of enormous gravity. And I need not remind everybody about the last night's events in Nice. I'm very happy to report that we have 7 students in Nice, and they're all well and accounted for. So we are feeling particularly at rest about that, but conscious of what has taken place. But we also inhabit a planet where there is an unprecedented connection between peoples. More than at any other epoch, we're interdependent on people we have never encountered. The colossal issues and problems we face, economic, environmental, religious, and political, are global in their scope. They have no hope of being solved unless people once distance come together and cooperate in ways they have not done before. As our more recent graduates shortly, you will undoubtedly bring a unique perspective to these issues and their impact on our communities. I have no doubt that there is amongst our newest graduates that the solutions to some of the most challenging and intractable problems will be found. As Drew Faust, the president of Harvard University, has observed, she says, higher learning can offer individuals and societies a depth and breadth of vision absent from the inevitably myopic present. Human beings need meaning, understanding, and perspective, as well as jobs. The question should not be whether we can afford to believe in such purposes in these times, but whether we can afford not to. As we celebrate your achievements, we're also looking to the future and the phenomenal potential that you have to benefit your community. Your study has empowered you to cultivate strong roots within your community, to allow you to maintain links with local issues and struggles, whilst realizing that these are inextricably linked to global imperatives. Together, we are on the way to shaping the future. Futures are forged by the choices that we make today and the way we decide to transfer the knowledge that we have acquired and to make our own ripples throughout the world. Today is just the beginning of a lifelong relationship with your university as members of an international community of Portsmouth graduates. Please make sure of our excellent alumni association and keep in touch as you continue your journey through life. Continue to live by the values of your university in all that you do. Be responsible, be open, and be ambitious. In all that you do, never settle for second best. It's an honor for me to address you on a day in which you celebrate one of life's great milestones. Your family and friends have supported your ambition, drive, and focus. I wish you every success and encourage you to be bold and give back to the very communities that have not only sustained you, but have enabled you to shape a better future for all of us. Thank you. Vice-Chancellor, the University is resolved to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Aleks Hildred.
Vice-Chancellor. Not far from here, guarding the entrance to Portsmouth Harbour, stands Southsea Castle, a coastal fort built in 1544 as protection against invasion during the Italian Wars. If you'd been standing there 1 year later, on the 19th of July 1545, you, along with Henry VIII and his troops, would have seen the French Navy engaging with the English fleet in the narrow stretch of water between the Isle of Wight and the mainland. It was a Sunday, and the weather was calm, with little wind, but in the late afternoon a breeze picked up, and the Mary Rose, the flagship of Vice Admiral Sir George Carew, advanced towards the French galleys. What happened next is unclear. Perhaps the structural changes that had been made over the 30 or so years that the Mary Rose had been in service had made her less seaworthy. Perhaps the apparently unruly crew failed to follow orders. Perhaps she was overladen and lying too low in the water. Whatever the cause or causes, during the engagement she turned in the wind at too steep an angle and through the open portholes took on water and keeled over. More than 400 crew drowned, caught inside the ship as she sank to the bottom of the Solent. The Mary Rose lay there for more than 400 years, half of her buried in the silt, half rotting away. It was not until 1971 that the precise location of the buried hull was discovered, and serious efforts to preserve this extraordinary relic of our Tudor maritime history began. Next week, on the 19th of July, exactly 471 years since the Mary Rose sank, the museum that was built for her will reopen with magnificent new viewing galleries of the ship herself and fascinating displays not only of the weaponry, the great bronze cannons, the elegant longbows and the gun shields, but of other, more intimate and touching items, things that serve to remind us that this ship was not just a war machine, but a place in which real people lived, worked, and made friends. The great cooking cauldron, the sailors' leather shoes, jackets, and musical instruments, and the fragile skeleton of the ship's dog. The person I have the great privilege of presenting today has played a critical part in enabling us to experience and appreciate these unique artifacts. Aleks Hildred is a marine and nautical archaeologist. She was born in Canada but moved with her family to England when she was a young girl. Her parents and teachers encouraged and inspired her to follow her passion, and she volunteered as a teenager on countless digs across the country, organised by the Council for British Archaeology. Fascinated by what we can learn about people and their environment from the objects that they leave behind, it was only natural that she should pursue her interest academically, and she went to the University of Sheffield, where she completed a BA in prehistory and archaeology. Fortunately for us, Aleks is a woman with two other and not obviously related skills. When she was still young, she'd learned to dive, and after graduating, she went to secretarial college. It's hard to imagine how archaeology, diving, and being a qualified secretary might combine to create the ideal starting point for a career, but this is precisely what they did. For in 1979, the Mary Rose Trust was formed under the leadership of Margaret Rule, and Margaret needed a personal assistant. Who better for this than someone who was not only qualified and experienced in uncovering the past through excavation, but who could do that underwater? That person was Aleks Hildred, and the rest, as they say, is history. From the day she started working at the Trust, Aleks has been intimately involved in every aspect of its work. She was one of the archaeological supervisors, contributing personally to the excavation of the wreck, along with 500 other volunteer divers, liaising with the many other organisations involved in the identification, analysis and cataloguing of artefacts, and the eventual recovery, preservation and display of the ship. She has been chair of the Institute of Field Archaeologists Maritime Affairs Group and a member of the Government Advisory Committee on Historic Wreck Sites. She has researched and published the weapons of the Mary Rose, producing one of the 5 volumes of its archaeology, and collaborated with the Royal Armouries to create full-scale copies of recovered guns to understand the way that they would have worked. She has taught both undergraduate and postgraduate students and for the Nautical Archaeological Society, and she has been actively involved with several research projects within this university. In 2006, in recognition of her contribution, she was elected as a Fellow of the Society of Antiquaries. Aleks's life is one of intellectual curiosity, dedication, and commitment, which has culminated in her present position as Head of Research and Curator of Ordnance and Human Remains at the Mary Rose Trust, a role she performs at the same time as being involved in a number of other nautical archaeology projects. It is a life from which we can all, whatever our own interests and passions, draw lessons and inspiration. Aleks shows us the importance of ambitions, but that realizing them involves working hard, often against the odds, often with no guarantee of success, and often with no immediate return on investment. But she has also shown us what you can achieve if you refuse to contemplate failure, believe in what you are doing, and commit to succeeding, however difficult that may be, and however long that takes. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Aleks Hildred for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Alexander Hildred, by the authority of the University, I now admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Vice-Chancellor, Professor Weird, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, and families. Thank you very much for your oration. It was absolutely a wonderful trip down memory lane for me, and also for the university for conferring on me this award. It was such a huge, huge surprise, and it's a tremendous honor. It really was a chance remark in 1979 about an underwater archaeological project needing volunteer divers that presented me, a new graduate of archaeology, with a dilemma: to continue my education and undertake a PhD at the University of British Columbia, or to stay in England and join a small group excavating King Henry VIII's warship, the Mary Rose. I had the overwhelming feeling that this project would make history, and I wanted to be part of it. I really thought I could just put the PhD on hold for a year or two, but that wasn't to be. But the single choice enabled me to share in a most wonderful adventure, to be part of a small and exclusive team that raised half a ship and 19,000 objects from obscurity into the present. When you drive into Portsmouth now, there are signs to the Mary Rose. It exists for us all. It is a landmark. In 1979, it was a position on a chart, a slight bump on the seabed. The journey from obscurity to fame relied firstly on good leadership. This was provided by the inspirational motivator, Margaret Rule, the archaeological director, and later a governor of this university. And in fact, some of you may have stayed or spent a term in the hall named after her. Secondly, it relied on teamwork. Underwater, limited in time, we could spend only a few minutes and had to hand over to other members of the diving team. Teamwork was vital. It was the key. The work also required inventiveness, determination, courage, commitment, attention to detail, and at times downright bullishness and the odd bit of risk-taking. We were making the tools to undertake the job. We were writing the rule book as we went along. Once I was asked to describe the Mary Rose in 3 words. The ones I came up with were against all odds. Now I can add, we did it. In every aspect, we relied on help, not just financially, but for the expertise we did not have and the equipment we could not afford. And so began our long association with Portsmouth Polytechnic, as it was then. To begin with, it was to identify the materials from which the artifacts were made so that we could preserve them through conservation. And you will find, particularly in the Faculty of Science, student dissertations in the early 1980s concerning old objects from a 16th century ship. A glance through Professor Mark Jones's book on the conservation of the Mary Rose reveals that 8 out of the 10 major contributors were staff or researchers within this university. He also undertook his PhD here. We were conscious from an early stage that any wooden object left exposed would be soon defaced over time, devoured by voracious marine borers. I remember many dives in the 1980s trying to avoid swimming into strings of wooden blocks that had been tied into our grid to measure degradation over time. Many small and contained projects like this were undertaken throughout the 1980s and 1990s, and the resulting corpus of information is used in the creation of mitigation strategies for protecting sites in situ. Many are linked with this university. These are things to be very proud of. Specific areas of research which I have been involved with are precious with me. Dr. Dominic Fontana, lecturer in the Department of Geography, was actually employed before doing his degree here as a photographer for the Mary Rose in the 1980s. A decade later, he was teaching in the department and created a GIS model of the Battle of the Solent using extant landmarks and the positions of the Mary Rose. I had just completed projects manufacturing and firing copies of our guns, and we could now look at the battlefield with added aspects of distance and attainable range. And yes, the French could have sunk the Mary Rose. Many hours of fun here replaying the battle, and even more questions. One of the many finds already mentioned was the skeleton of a young dog. A project was initiated by Dr. Gary Scarlett of the Institute of Biomedical and Biomolecular Science here to profile the DNA of the Mary Rose dog. We now know that he was a he, and he had a brown brindle coat, and he was genetically similar to a modern Jack Russell, a proud exhibit within our exhibition. In meetings earlier this year, chaired by Professor Pal Aluwalia, there were 12 representatives from the university. As a result of this meeting, we developed several distinct projects, 3 of which are to be showcased with the relaunching of the museum next Wednesday. The one I can tell you about was the scanning, modeling, and rendering of a very eroded timber recovered in 2005. This has now been formally identified as the ship's emblem or badge, a sort of proto-figurehead, just installed within the museum. It is the earliest extant badge representing the name of its ship. Alongside the original is a picture of the computer-enhanced model, clearly showing the Tudor Rose. This was done within this university. The other 2, also within the Faculty of Creative and Cultural Industries, have been bound to secrecy to the extent that students involved could not showcase their work to other students on their courses. Let us just say the Mary Rose will be seen in an entirely different way from now on, and judging from the previews we have had, I think the term outrageously successful is apt. Come and see for yourselves. Part of this university's vision is to be a proud part of Portsmouth and the region, working in partnership to support and influence the economic, educational, social, and cultural life of the city. Certainly we have benefited with this. The aims and objectives of the Mary Rose Trust are to promote and develop interest, research, knowledge relating to the Mary Rose and all matters concerning the underwater cultural heritage, all for the education and benefit of the nature. The 2 are not so far apart and sit well together. Both the Mary Rose Trust and the university have flourished over the last 37 years. Both are enshrined in the history, and I hope in the culture of Portsmouth. Nearly 40 years later, I'm still passionate, still driven, and still as dedicated to the Mary Rose project. And even though the path was not the academic one I had anticipated, to be recognized by the University of Portsmouth by the presentation of this honorary degree is unexpected and overwhelming, and confirms that I have made the right choice, and that there is more than one path to academic acknowledgement. To the new graduates, congratulations on your success. I know that you have all worked very hard, and I expect many of you will be apprehensive about the future. But you are well armed. You have been educated and taught how to think, and to examine and to interpret. Build on these foundations, but keep an open mind. Be prepared to alter your course. Look for and embrace challenges. Do not be daunted by them. Be daring. Take a few risks. Try to avoid the C word. Instead of can't be done, think, how can this happen? Who do we need to find, to engage, to help us? I have learned that most people find satisfaction from helping others, and that enthusiasm is infectious. These are good tools. And whatever your future endeavors are, try to engage your hearts as well as your heads. Vice Chancellor, I am grateful and proud to accept this honorary degree of Doctor of Science, and I hope that I continue to retain and increase links with the university and aspire to maintain an academic standing worthy of this honor. Thank you.
So while our students are just getting ready, the graduates are getting ready, let me just tell you that the main purpose of today and the part that we're all looking forward to is, of course, the graduation of our students. But before we do that, there are some formal words that myself and the Vice Chancellor have to say to officially confirm that everyone who walks along the stage has a right to do so. Just make sure that people are all ready. Vice Chancellor, I certify that all those presented at the ceremony have successfully completed their studies and have satisfied all the conditions and requirements of the university.
By the authority of the university, I confirm that all those who are duly qualified are hereby admitted to the awards for which they are presented.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the following successful candidates from the School of Languages and Area Studies. Bachelor of Arts in Communication and English Studies, Chan Yun Man. Eleanor Chan Yutsum. Chloe Chung Hook Yi. Joachim Ho Chun Him. Ho Mei Hwa. Kwok So Wing. Lam Hei Lat Yan. Joyce Lam Sun Yi. Lung Hoi Ting. Tobias Liu. Rachel Lung Kai Yi. And with first class honours, Lo Huia. And with first class honours, Tang Yun Sut. Sui Wing Hei. Bachelor of Arts in International Business Communication, Shota Atoga. Chen Peng Kai. Deng Yi. He Kai Lun. Huang Chi. Huang Siyuan. Huang Xiacheng. Huang Zhihui. Wait. Li Ming Yi. Li Renyu. Li Xuzheng. Liang Zhen Liang. And with Liu Chang. And with first class honours, Liu Dewei. Lu Zihao. Peng Huiqing. Chiu Xuelun. Chu Yalun. And with first class honours, So Ho Ching. And with first class honours, Chang Hoi Hai. Wen Jing. Ayoku. Zhang Bowei. Zhang Zhenyu. Zheng Huijie. Jung E. Fan. Bachelor of Arts in International Trade and Business Communication, Chun Guangqi. Guan Yu Qing. Guan Huashen. And with first class honours, Ho King Feng. Huo Baisheng. Zhang Qi. Chloe Lamzaku. Li Lin. Li Wenjia. Liu Zuoyi. Lu Yetong. Ma Xin Yu. Hao Tang. Wang Junru. Wu Haoxian. Xie Jun. Xing Tang Tao. Xu Weibin. Yang Jian. Yang Yicheng. Zheng Xiaoting. Zhang Caihong. Zhang Qiming. Zhang Xingyue. Zhao Jiajun. Zhao Xuanchen. Hui Manyi. Wu Ruyin. And Bachelor of Arts in International Trade, Logistics and Business Communication, Sang Jian. Huang Lin Ya. Prescott Wan Yin Ji Hao. Bachelor of Arts, Logistics and Business Communication, Zheng Kai.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the following successful candidates for the award of Bachelor of Arts in American Studies. Abigail Blood. Amy Carl. Scott Faulkner. Alistair Fillmore. Georgia Fitzwater. James Fortune. With first-class honours, Sophie Hill. Charlotte Manuel. Hannah McCarthy. Martin Mwangi. And with first class honours, Julian Sadler. With first class honours, Katie Simmons. With first class honours and the Klaus Toksvig Prize for the best dissertation in American Studies, Hayley Skay. Maria Sorena. Bachelor of Arts in American Studies and History, Fernand Bauken. Max Collett. Charlie Folds. Olivia Gregson. Daniel Milham. Joshua Smith. Bachelor of Arts in Applied Languages, Asia Amies. With first class honours, Esther Bernath. Eloise Bourron. With first class honours, Rebecca Bradshaw. With first class honours, William Brooks Smith. Jake Cahill. Jack Capron. With first class honours and the winner of the Banco Espiritu Santo Prize, Daniel Carvajal Velasco. Elizabeth Coles. Jennifer Coombs. Bethany Colthurst. Mia Dunn. With first class honours, Jessica Edwards. Hannah Feddick. Molly Fletcher. Eleanor Grantham. Stefan Hellstrom. Harel Hochstedt. Samantha Hoos. Mary McManus. Lauren Medcraft. With first class honours, Chile Mereni. Rick Merricks. Amber Moss. Henrietta Small. Catherine Soleil Pike. Jasmine Stock. Alexander Tomini. Olivia Towler. Sean Watson. Joshua Witz. Leanne Walters. Bachelor of Arts in Area Studies, Denisa Budikova. And with first class honours, Mihaela Lorga. Bachelor of Arts in Combined Modern Languages, Yvonne Betts. With first-class honours and the Hellenic Prize for the Best Dissertation in European Studies, Jan Chodorowski. Alice Clark-Edwards. Ellen Cuthbertson. Natalia Datsun. Amy Frampton. Elizabeth Hendy. Christopher Enriquez. Jamie Hepworth. Samuel Mitchell. Jack Morris. Latoya Smith. Judith Stevenson. Isabella Teixeira Fioresi. Sophie Voss. With first-class honours, Alexandra Wagner. Bachelor of Arts in English and American Studies, Georgina Connaughton. Ellie Jenkins. Alicia McHugh. Hannah Youngson. Amal Hussain. Bachelor of Arts in English Language, John Allen. Lauren Allen. Pooja Badwal. Lauren Baker. Amy Louise Best. Hayley Campfield. Bianca Clark. Benjamin Conway. With first-class honours, Sophie Cuffley. With first-class honours, Catherine Ferguson. Thomas Fisher. With first-class honours, Tom Groom. Natalie Hart. Georgia Heath. With first-class honours, Victoria Hooker. Lucy Jupp. Max Kinsella. Rory Leader. Karina Patel. With first-class honours, Sarah Poole. Sorry. Ellis Popham. Rebecca Quick. Sophie Redman Winter. Aidan Robinson. Charlotte Amanda Smith. Sean Sorensen. Lily Steele. Mark Throp. With first-class honours, Sharon Thwaites. Maria Walters. James Wire. Oluwasun Odusina. Bachelor of Arts in European Studies, Sanas Rahman. Bachelor of Arts in European Studies and International Relations, Ruhith Ahmed. With first class honours, Tsing Ching Kwok. Hayley Simpson. David Waltho. Jennifer Patterson. Bachelor of Arts in French Studies, with first class honours and the French Studies Prize for the Best Dissertation, Jasmine Bell. Joshua Briley. Melissa Cannons. Phoebe Chandler. Love Danso. Chloe Hunt. Jack Kavanagh. Hannah Mould. Charmaine Murray. Vinit Patel. Andrew Short. Emma Warren. Bachelor of Arts in German Studies, Shaloma Maxwell. With first class honours, Helen Sorensen. Thomas Steele. Amelia Wheeler. Bachelor of Arts in International Development Studies, Tope Akinmoladun. Joss Duncan. Lucy Dibble. Rhiannon Gibson. Jordan Hoylett. Terry Kabiru. Leanne Lewis. Lucy Marvin Dawes. Catherine O'Gorman. Alicia Patel. Freya Pride. With first class honours and the Schrey Prize for the Best Dissertation on a European or international topic, Thomas Routledge. Nikita Shrubsel. With first class honours, James Thompson. Philip Dunn. Bachelor of Arts in International Development Studies and Languages, with first class honours and the winner of the Robin Carter Prize, Timea Chesieriova. Joseph Massey. Karis Paramitha. Bachelor of Arts in International Relations and Languages, James Broomfield. Margot de Reed Matten. Joshua Grierson. Janine Nascimento. Francesca Russo. Marie Sletan Ulvund. And with first class honours, Dominika Visenova. Bachelor of Arts in International Relations with Languages, Kieran Wade. Bachelor of Arts in Languages and European Studies, Diana Anichitoya. Hema Dupia. Claire Jones. Saskia Otwell. With first class honours, Jay Timney. Sorina Toltica. Adriana Orbaneja. Violeta Vach. Bachelor of Arts in Spanish and Latin American Studies, Alexandra Brandon. Michaela Cantwell. Aggie O'Sullivan. Joseph Porter. Faith Ryder Morgan. Rosanna Stetch. Bachelor of Arts in Spanish Studies, Luke Boys. Gabriela Carvalho. Anisha Hoxa. Elishma Lawless. Veronica Liu. Perry Madams. Anna Simo Johnson. Danny Barcelona. Nicole Warren. Master of Arts in Applied Linguistics and Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Samantha Atfield. James Cannons. With distinction, Ian Johnson. Deirdre McKenna. Raquel Roberts. Kerry Segert. Jane Wistons. With distinction and awarded the Best MA Dissertation or Major Project, Kurt Wiltshire. Master of Arts in Communication and Language Skills with distinction, Dale Buttigieg. Master of Arts in Translation Studies, Chloe Barton. Sarah Bliss. Inma Caracuel Matilla. Ulrika Chaplar. Christopher Eastwood. With distinction, Jessica Gibbs. Yolanta Grigg. Emilia Gucik. Emily Lawson. Marika Lobeck, Bruce McPherson, Pauline Malcoron, Pauline Maigret, Natalia Mialik, Lucy Mills. With distinction and awarded the Best MA Dissertation Major Project, Craig Neville. Birgit Patuk. Abdullah Shabab. With distinction, Victoria Emily Charville. Andrew Starr. With distinction, Heather Unway. Clive Walker. Yolanda Young. Kasia Zook Samuels. This concludes the presentation of students from the School of Languages and Area Studies.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the following successful candidates from the Department of Geography. For the Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Geography, Matthew Bonkin. Fabian Ostium. For Bachelor of Arts in Geography, Kate Allen. Joe Beavis. James Belmonte. Lucy Best. With first class honours, Adele Boland. Lucy Corfield. James Davis. Martin Duddy. Hannah Foley. Sharon Gartell. Alexander Giorgio. Louise Greenwood. James Harvey. Aileen Hassan. With first class honours and the Department for Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance and the Institute of Environmental Management Dissertation Prize, Andrew Longman. Annabelle Marks. Cameron McFarlane. Francesca Patton. Callum Rickard. With first class honours, Eleanor Ripma. Jake Shelley. With first class honours, Alice Thompson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography, with first class honours and the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Catherine Brailsford. With first class honours, Harry Edwards. Chloe Fagan. With first class honours, Charlotte Farrer. Danny Gingell. With first class honours, Alex Livingston. Flora Magill. Finlay McGow. Jack Mead. April Moores. Thomas Payne. Lucy Seal. Thomas Scrime. Annika Stroben. Melissa White. Oliver Wood. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Geography, Chris Howell. Samuel Pittman. Declan Redman. Sam Seddon. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Geography, with first class honours, Joshua Arnold. Richard Ashurst. Shannon Betteridge. With first class honours, Jordan Bishop. With first class honours, Patrick Borer. Annalisa Braun. With first class honours in the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Michael Brigginshaw. With first class honours and Best Undergraduate Student in the Department of Geography 2015-16, Chrissa Brown. Oliver Burling. Laura Carlyle. With first class honours, Christopher Carroll. Kieran Chapman. Catherine Chilton. With first class honours, Jadelle Clark. Daniel Cresswell. Adam Davis. Hayley Dix. Laura Gibbons. With first class honours, Stephen Hare. Ella Hayden. Kieran Hodgkinson. Bradley Hunsum. With first class honours in the Colin Warner Memorial Prize for Best Undergraduate Student Dissertation, Kat Hudson. Oliver Hurst. Imogen Jefferson. Oliver Jones. Nicholas Kosh. Charlie Lavender. Lewis Maslin. Hannah Mayfield. James McCree. Samuel McFadgen. Elliot Melbourne. Alexander Minchell. Alexander Mitchell. Chloe Malhal Elwood. Cameron Parker. Shannon Petrie. Chris Pode. Jonathan Porteous. With First Class Honours and the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Megan Powell. Matthew Pritchard. George Rayson. Ian Reddington. James Rogers. Lily Ruddock. With First Class Honours, George Rusdale. Abigail Roos. Bella Schroeder. Matthew Shaw. Joshua Sequin. Alexander Sillins. Patrick Simper. Chris Smith. With First Class Honours, Joseph Smith. Alexander Spraggett. Jessica Stopka. With First Class Honours, Rachel Stout. With First Class Honours and the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Oliver Thompson. Shakyle Trotman. Elliot Webb. Ryan Webb. With the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Katie Winter. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Geography with Geographical Information Science, and with First Class Honours and the Best Undergraduate Student in the Department of Geography 2015-16, Adam Thurston. Kate James. Eloise Short. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physical Geography, William Burton. Matthew Cox. With First Class Honours and the Department of Geography Prize for Academic Excellence and Performance, Alexander Hilawi. Edward Howes. Oliver Lungley. Oliver Orbill. With first class honours, Paul Sands. Ellen Scott. Joshua Smith. George White. With first class honours, Lauren Wood. For the degree of Master of Science in Coastal and Marine Resource Management, Alexander Bishop. With distinction, Dean Crispin. Jane Hunt. Sophie Moss. With distinction, Emma Preston. With distinction, Adam Sennett. With distinction, Oliver Witt. For the degree of Master of Science in Geographical Information Systems, Benjamin Bringer. Muhammad Ali Ahmed Mahmood. With distinction, Charles Robinson. With distinction, Lucy Scoville. For Doctor of Philosophy, for the Programme of Research in the use of selected indicators to examine marine fishery sustainability within the Nigeria-Sao Tome-Principe Joint Development Zone, which was supervised by Dr. Jonathan Potts, Aya Dan Agalan. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a Programme of Research in Young People, Tobacco and Cannabis, Social and Place-Based Complexities in Co-Consumption, supervised by Professor Liz Twigg, Richard Tyler. This concludes the presentation of students from the Department of Geography and today's ceremony.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Shannon Thwaites to respond on behalf of the graduates.
Vice-Chancellor, good morning, honoured guests, staff, and of course, the class of 2016. Who would have thought that the students that started on the roller coaster ride called university would have made it through all the turns, bends, and the occasional loop-the-loop, all the way to the end? We made it. We are here today on the precipice of the future. It's not a distant reality anymore. It begins here, and it begins today. It wasn't long ago that hundreds of fresh-faced students walked through the corridors across campus. None of us really knew what was in store. We were excited, but scared, enthusiastic, but nervous. For most of us, it was a fresh start. We knew no one, and yet, slowly things began to change. We got to know the city, the university, the staff, and other students. We settled, and this waterfront city became home. No one gets through university alone, and at the University of Portsmouth, it is not difficult to find someone who can help you. This brings us to the many people we have to thank for our successes leading up to today. First, we should thank the wonderful staff. Lecturers and teaching staff, you have provided us with a wealth of knowledge that we will apply to our future careers. Your enthusiasm and passion for your subject area has been instilled in us. You have broadened our minds and allowed us to become critical thinkers. You have also provided us with emotional and pastoral support. Thank you. There are also the backstage staff, the administrative and library staff, technicians, learning development tutors, Purple Door, the university support services, senior management, and the Students' Union. Although you may not have seen us on a daily basis, our time at university would not have been the same without your help. Thank you. Additionally, our family and friends have been a great source of emotional and often financial support. Thank you for always being at the end of a phone call when we need to talk, for giving us advice, for allowing us to be independent adults, but being there when we needed guidance. Thank you for continuing to support us throughout our education, from nursery to primary school, secondary school to college, and now to university. I'd like to take this opportunity on stage to make a quick personal thank you to my family in the audience and my family at home in Greece. You have been amazing. To everyone here who has travelled today, thank you for celebrating our achievements with us. To those who cannot be here, we know you are watching us today, proud of what we have achieved. Graduates, we should also thank each other. At the beginning of our degrees, we measured the year by the time spent in lectures, seminars, and tutorials. By the end of our degrees, we were not only measuring the hours spent studying and the words we had written on our dissertations, but we were measuring friendships. We began university as strangers, and we are leaving as friends. Finally, we should thank ourselves. Without our individual determination and persistence, we would not be sat here today. We've spent many late nights in the university library, and maybe the other library as well. But this has all paid off. We are all here today, celebrating our successes and achievements. Well done. Now, it is time for us to move on to the next stage in our lives, onto a different roller coaster. Some of us will go on to further studies, others will go straight into the workplace. Some of us still aren't sure what's next, and that's okay. It's a big world, and there are many, many opportunities waiting for us. In today's modern, changing world, no matter where we go or what we do, whether we like it or not, there are challenges ahead of us. There's a saying, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving forward. Graduates, we need to meet the world's challenges with our heads held high and our hearts and minds wide open in order to keep moving forward. Our university education has broadened our perspectives and taught us that we are all more than capable of excellence. These are traits that we can take forward into our careers, into our futures, and into society. Although it may not be easy to see, every accomplishment we achieve adds to the world's accomplishments. And in a world of uncertainties, it is important to work together as a community, as we have worked together during our studies. Our individual successes benefit society as a whole, because when we succeed, we lighten the burden on others. When we succeed, we are in a position to give rather than to take. What we achieve inwardly changes outer reality. It is with passion, courage of conviction, and a strong sense of self that we take our next steps into the world. You must always have faith in people, and most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself. My challenge to each of you, and to myself, is to do all that you can do to reach your full potential. We, the new cohort of linguists, geographers, businessmen and women, and humanitarians, are stepping off this university roller coaster and starting another journey. The future is truly in our hands, so let's make the most of it. Thank you.
Now, at this point in the ceremony, it's normal for our Chancellor, Sandy Toksvig, to say a few words, but she couldn't be here today, but she just hates missing those ceremonies. So by the wonders of modern technology, we still have a message from Sandy Toksvig. So let's hear from Sandy.
Hello there, graduands. You did it. I bet there was many a day you thought you would never get this cap and gown moment, so well done. And how great you all look in your academic dress, and, you know, even from here, I can tell, just smelling very faintly of mothballs. I'm so sorry not to be there with you, and there is a lesson straight away for you. Never work for the BBC, because it gets in the way of having a life. I love graduation, although I have to say I don't mind missing out on some of the more crushing handshakes. Parents, well done you! How proud you must be today and optimistic about the future. How exciting to see what your youngsters will make of their lives. And I suspect you'll have a ringside seat, as these days young people hardly ever leave home. I have a few words of special congratulations. Really well done to any of the more, how can I put this, mature students who decided that age is no barrier to learning. I salute your tenacity. They say wisdom comes with age. In my case, I think age may have come on its own, but I say to all of you that learning is a lifelong process. For the younger ones, I'm jealous of what wonders lie ahead for you, the books you will read, the music you will hear, and the beauty you will see. Having a degree simply shows you know how to think. Now go and use that ability to its fullest extent. Having a university education means you are among the privileged few in the world, and I believe it comes with a responsibility to contribute to your community to the best of your ability. Life is short. Trust me, time spins past you like a whirlwind. You all look so beautiful today, but boys, your hair will go, and girls, you don't want to know what will go. So crack on and don't leave fulfilling your ambitions too late, or you may find you missed the moment. And speaking of moments, try and be of the moment, and by that I mean live in the present. I fully understand the joy of modern technology, but maybe, occasionally, put down your smartphone. Stop texting people who are not in the room and try enjoying being with the people who actually are. You may surprise yourself and find you even like them, and even more surprisingly, those people may include your parents. My association with Portsmouth is one of the things I am proudest of, and I hope you feel the same. Please don't go away and never return. Join the Alumni Association and know that you will always have a warm welcome here. You are part of the family, and like all good families, we may fight, we may ask you for money, but you will always have a place at the table. Every year we hold a Chancellor's Dinner for students and alumni, and why not decide now to come back next year and join in? It would be lovely to see you. I hope you have the happiest of days, and be nice to whoever is doing the handshaking, because honestly, it can leave bruising. Bye.
I want to add my congratulations to all of you who have graduated, and also to those who have supported our students while they were studying at the university. I now declare this congregation closed. Please be upstanding for the academic procession.